to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay. Well, Big E, how are you, my friend?
I'm great, Mike. Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Why?
Oh, God damn it. I have to go to the dentist after the show.
Pussy.
I know.
Dude,
well,
did we talk about last time you went, you got the gas?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Did we?
I don't know
mention
that we
that on
talked
air?
about it. Maybe.
No, nobody gets gas.
I didn't know.
Nobody.
Dude, I go for a teeth cleaning. I asked for gas.
Apparently.
But that was just like protocol. They for years I'd go to the dentist. I never had the gas like growing up ever.
Yeah.
But then when I got to adult life, people would I'd go to the dentist. They'd be like, "Well, do you want the gas?" And I'm like,
You're
"Well,
like, yes, I like drugs.
yes. I love drugs. What does it do?" And they're like, "Well, some people get anxious or nervous, and we can give them."
Some people get euphoric. You're like, yeah, I'll try euphoric.
No. To combat the anxiousness that people get or the stress, they'll give you. There's a couple things. They'll either give you a pill, which what is that shit? I don't know,
Dude, what is it? Like
to calm your nerves, like
pussy pill or something?
Yeah.
This is what you do. You go in there. They give you the little topical now. They don't even just shoot you with the. It used to be they just grabbed the freaking syringe and shot you. Now they put a little topical that numbs you up, and then they shoot you. It's not a big deal. It literally feels like pinch.
Yeah, I understand that.
But instead, you required them to go get the gas.
Dude, they were like, I was like, okay, you're going to do a root canal on me. I need the gas. And they're like,
hell yeah.
They looked at me like, this is the first time this has ever happened to me. They looked at me like, people still, yeah, I think,
We have some in the bag.
Leslie, do we still have a tank of the nitrous here? And they had to go into like their warehouse and wheel this ancient truck out.
Oh my God.
And they're like, this is going to cost you more. I was like, yeah, whatever. You're about to do surgery in my mouth. I'm not going out without something.
I agree.
And
I'm
here's
sure they're still talking about you, dude.
they probably
weeks
are.
later.
So I don't know if I should.
Yeah, the guy who wanted the gas is coming back.
And so they wheel this cart in and hook me up. It was awesome, though. Oh, it was awesome. But here's the thing. What I don't understand is why you wouldn't want that. It's like, Jay, here's the option. We're going to sit you in a chair. You're going to have mouth surgery, but we can give you something that you just wear over your nose, and you're going to be hammered until we turn it off, and then you immediately come back. But why not for an hour? Just be hammered.
I agree.
Doesn't hurt you.
Get on with it. It's just like, give me the damn shot and move on. Let's get this done.
Well, they just put it over your face and turn it on, and then they get on with it. It's no big deal. You've never had it, have you?
No.
You'd be scared of it because it gives you that. It's kind of like Whippets back in the day. That whoa, 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 whoa. It's awesome though, man. It was great. It's great. So I'm looking forward to that part. If I want them to drag the machine for, hopefully they're like, oh yeah, that guy's coming back in. But yeah,
they're just taking out the temporary little thing that they put in, and they're putting in a permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I've had several root canals, and that's what they do. They gore out your tooth, basically. All the nerve comes out. They take everything out. And they pack it with gutta percha. It's basically the stuff that they put inside.
Kidding me? You know the name of it?
They pack it with like a rubber substance, basically what is inside of a golf ball. And they pack it, and then they watch it for like 3 weeks, make sure the infection's gone.
Yeah.
And then they put a permanent.
Which it is. It feels good now.
Good.
It doesn't hurt anymore. Like
you shouldn't feel it. It should just it's just a dead tooth. It
hurt for a week after that. After they gored it out.
Trauma of it.
Yeah. I mean, it really hurt. So yeah, but it's fucking like all the way in Troy or Rochester. I know, pussy, but it's the last thing I want to do is go pay another $1,000 to have someone.
Ain't that the truth?
You know, that's the worst part of it. So anyway.
Well, I wish you luck with that today, Mike.
Thank you.
I hope it goes well.
Thank you. I'm not looking forward to it. What else was I going to say? I thought there was something else I want to mention.
Tiger tickets?
Oh yeah, you want to? Yeah, we've got some Tiger tickets to give away, and they're good seats too. They're really good seats, and they're for a Negro Leagues game.
Nice.
I think I requested that on purpose.
Go Blacks!
For a Negro Leagues game against the first place Chicago White Sox.
So the Detroit Stars versus whatever Chicago used to call their Negro League.
team. Yeah. I believe it's June 4th, which is a Saturday.
You believe it is, or it is?
Well, I've got the tickets right here. I can tell
Let's
you.
confirm.
I
believe it's a Saturday.
I'm willing to bet.
evening.
I'm willing to
Late
bet
afternoon.
E's life that it's June 4th.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, I
wow.
am too.
Okay.
Willing to guess at it.
E, congratulations, sir. You get to continue living. It is, in fact, June 4th.
June 4th.
See, I was confident, E.
Thank you.
Confident.
Wow.
Got some
Appreciate
parking with
that.
that. They're good seats, though. They're kind of by the dugout and whatnot. So we were thinking, we've got this new toy that we were playing with. We had a kind of a flop of a launch the first time we tried to play it on your phone, but it worked later that morning.
It's probably my phone.
Could be. But it's the Wave app we've been using, and we've been having some fun with this. We kind of did our own little version of a beta test.
I feel like I need a wave drop. When you say wave, I need to hit something.
Yeah, I don't know if they've got anything official, but we wanted basically it'd be cool to have people sign up for this. I mean, we're always trying to find ways to get out there. I mean, whether it's Facebook or Twitter, and
that's not my department. I'll tell our webmaster.
Right. But if most people have a smartphone, you can just download the Wave app. It's WAVVE, and they've built our own little section on there for the Detroit Cast. So if you click on Detroit, we're the only thing there. It'll pop right up, and then listeners have been able to go on there and talk about the show. But the cool part is it's kind of like a verbal email. Like you can leave what they're calling talks, and they give you 60 seconds to record, and
then after somebody posts something, you can like respond to it with your own post, either in text or verbally.
So if you're not comfortable with your own voice, you can text something back.
Yeah.
But
if you have a voice like E,
you're better off texting.
Yeah. So here's an example. Amy writes in, Big E house sitting.
Okay, guys. So I'm in a bit of a predicament. My fiance and I, yes, I'm on fianced, are going out of town over Memorial Weekend. And because I'm a procrastinator, I have forgotten to find someone to watch our dogs while we're gone. So instead of putting them in daycare for a few days, I thought it might be cheaper to offer the retard a few dollars to come stay at my house and watch my dogs and be able to get away from his parents for the weekend. Hi, Mrs. Fady. And but then... am I crazy? Like, will he kill my dogs? I don't have much value around here, so I'm not really too concerned about that. But I know he's a mess. So am I going to have to like burn my couches afterwards?
Yes.
I don't know.
Probably.
What do you guys think? Should I offer it to him or not?
How is the masturbation issue not raised? That?
That's the only.
I wouldn't be like, oh, my valuables, you're going to ruin. I'd be like, where is he going to come? In my house?
Yeah, he's going to finish somewhere. Is it going to be on the linoleum?
Will he scrooge on my
couch?
pillow? Will he sniff my underwear?
Yeah.
That's
yes
not,
and yes.
No.
Worried
the
about
coming is one thing. I am not.
He's not a pervert. Okay.
No, but I'm not these. I'm not sniffing on anyone. I don't even want to.
You wouldn't even think about that?
No.
She sounds hot, by the way.
Not even for a second.
E, come on, be
That's
honest.
disgusting to me.
There's a whole drawer full of unmentionables.
I would never do. That's so gross.
You wouldn't even check it out? Would you pull them out? And just
No.
Why wouldn't you check them out?
I'm not smelling.
I'm not saying
them.
you'd put them on necessarily.
I'm not.
Wear them on your head or anything. But
no. I'm not. I don't find any interest in smelling women's panties. Just FYI. For
all right.
anybody.
Well, she's got a fiance too. Would you check his out?
I don't have an interest in smelling anybody's underwears.
Undergarments.
Yeah.
So here's Miguel's response to that.
Good question. Yeah, I say let the retard go over there and dog sit for you. I mean, he'll definitely jack off in your house, but, probably not the first time that's happened in the house. So as long as that's something you can get over, I'd say he's other than that, he's harmless. So good luck.
Yeah, I stand by that. He's not going to kill your pet. I mean, worst case scenario, he forgets to feed it for a day. But remember when we had the bug in the house and you were just zapping it repeatedly with that electronic
that was so much fun. Yeah.
tennis racket. And E was like getting.
He felt really bad for the bug.
He was
just like
almost brought to tears.
Yeah. And I was just like,
I think it was smoking.
Yeah.
Just being zapped to shit. He's like, oh man, look at him go. He's on fire. He was all bummed.
He was bummed. Yeah.
He's a moth or something.
Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of killing animals.
Yeah, my only concern is he'd forget about the animals. He'd be like, "This is such a great new place to jack off," and then he'd be like, "Oh, sorry, Fido." 3 days later,
Yeah.
Fido would be laying on the ground like panting.
Yeah, panting, emaciated.
Yeah.
Well,
Forgets to take it outside. You'd have to remember to take it outside too. That's key.
Well,
with dog sitting.
my thing with dog sitting is when it comes to removal of the feces, is I don't like picking it up. So what I tend to do, now it sounded like this was on a weekend, so it might work out. But what I tend to do is walk them very late at night through the neighborhood,
Just let it happen,
and just kind of like, oh well, when it's midnight,
Yeah, I can't see it.
No one can see me.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do with my other house sitting. In fact, anytime I've house sitted dogs, that's what my move is, to walk them at midnight, 2 a.m.
Nice.
Just so I don't have to pick up the feces.
So here's another one by AA Ron. Completely different thought.
So I'm listening to episode 584. I'm halfway through it to the break. And fuck all of you Eric haters. That dude is paying attention. He's providing relevant insight. And he's actually keeping the show moving along with Mike. So all you haters that say he's a big fucktard and he should die and go away and be fired, look what he's doing. When given the opportunity, he can rise to the occasion. Now, I'm halfway through the episode. I'm going to listen to the other half and see how well he does there.
So did it come off the rails there at the end?
I don't even remember.
It's funny, man, that you get a report like that, because in the same time frame, the last few days, I've had multiple people tell me like they've tried to suggest the show to their friends, and their friends are just like, I can't even listen to that guy. Like,
really?
A second of his voice, it kills me. I turn it off. Somebody emailed in yesterday. Yeah, as soon as I heard you weren't in, meaning me, that day, and the retard would be on the mic, I stopped it.
Bailed,
deleted it.
That's too bad.
And checked out another show.
Wow.
Yeah,
that hurts. That's got to hurt.
That's on you guys.
Yeah, that hurts me a little bit, but that's got to hurt you even more.
Not really. I don't care.
I think Miguel had a response to this one though.
As the guy who had the honor of hosting a show with Jay, of course, and Big E.
Overstating.
I think it's safe to say that I almost find it easier to host a show with Big E, just because I'm not held to account for anything I say. He'll just go along with anything, and yeah, it makes my job really easy. Where Jay tends to question what you say, make you explain yourself.
Was that a thumb over a garden hose?
Yeah, so that's really all I have to say about it.
Wait, what was that last?
What was that?
Explain yourself. What was that at the end?
I was just clearing my throat.
Was that like a
No, that was.
like
What
are you talking about?
You were
I
like
didn't
pushing something out or something.
or like if you get up, you grunt like.
Yeah, when he stood up.
Oh, I was trying to. I was trying to reel it back in.
Thumb over a garden hose.
Well, the problem with that, when you say I agree,
I didn't know you guys could hear that. First off, that was accidental. I just happened to be recording. I was multitasking a little bit. I had no idea that would be picked up on the audio. I apologize
Sounds like
to
I heard
anybody
a
that was
cat in
offended.
there,
That,
too.
yeah, Pants made a brief appearance at the very end. One of those where you're standing there and all of a sudden there's a cat hops up on a counter somewhere. So
We've all been there.
Especially when we're over here, cats jumping up on counters. That doesn't usually happen at home, to be honest.
So anyway, what we wanted to do was, you don't have to do much. Just go download the app and sign up. It doesn't cost you anything. It's all free. And you can check it. You don't have to necessarily post anything if you don't want, but if you want to just follow what's going on, Jay and I pop on there. Big E will pop on there and respond to people's questions, comments about the show, and all kinds of stuff. From time to time, we'll do that. And so if you want to follow along with that, you can. And if you just download the app, and we're just trying to encourage people to do that, we'll put your name in a drawing for these tickets, and the people that are already signed up will be included in that drawing as well.
That's really astounding.
I know. We're having to rely on, kind of a computer guy to handle that for us.
That's not my department. I'll tell our webmaster.
Thank you, Jerry. That's very much appreciated. Were you guys talking about Jerry from the Jacks again before the show, by the way?
Yeah, it tends to come up. I'm sitting here just firing drops, like testing them,
Yeah.
And what I didn't realize, I guess, in regard to East San Fran, his trip out there was how connected to his mommy he still was.
Well, no. That's not. I wasn't I wasn't kidding. It's not like I was asking guidance or something, but I mean, I was talking to her throughout the trip, I guess.
Were you?
You're going.
Was she calling you?
To San Francisco.
So what happened? Here's all I heard was you guys. I was upstairs and I could hear you guys laughing about something.
Here's what happened. Dude, I guess I stated it, but I don't know if some people realize how nervous I really was that day. And especially as I got to the point where I was ready to walk there. And it wasn't the jerking off. It was just, I've told this to a few listeners that I've talked to in person since. It was not that part. It was, honest to God, that area was just not in a great area.
It's always the same and always different. There's always a bunch of naked guys having a wonderful time together.
I just had built it up in my mind that two things. What if for real, this has all been this huge thing where you show up there and then there's some dude with a bag full of, fucking oranges or something, just ready to hit you in the head. or doorknobs.
Would
whatever.
that be awful to have be hit by a sack of oranges?
I mean,
it wouldn't be ideal.
Okay,
it wouldn't be
fine,
ideal.
doorknobs.
I'd be more anything.
You know what?
They'd
They'd probably break. It'd get juice on you. It'd be stiff.
Fine,
but they're in a bag. I mean, unless the bag splits.
Yeah.
Fine, doorknobs, whatever.
It'd be more messy than anything, right? The bag would split. You're right. Oranges everywhere. Maybe one would break on you.
Yeah.
You'd feel like kind of like it was a waste of oranges. That would be my biggest thing.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, those were good oranges. Look at them all.
Fine.
They're all over the ground now. And I'd start to pick them up. You try to pick them up, but you can't hold them all.
Yeah.
That would be
falling
my,
out. Yeah. It'd be really hard to corral
You're right,
them.
E. That would suck.
Fine. Okay, a sack of doorknobs. Whatever.
Why isn't a sack of anything? Who's collecting a sack of doorknobs to hit you with? Just take a fucking bat.
Okay.
Or a gun. Shoot your
Yeah, who
kneecaps
takes
out.
the time to go collect doorknobs?
I've got 150 doorknobs I've collected, and they thank God they fit in my sack. When as soon as that son of a bitch walks in the door, down he goes.
Okay, I don't know.
A sack of doorknobs.
I don't know.
A sack of doorknobs?
Whatever. Okay. My point was I was like, after all these years, what if it really is just something you just walk into and they're just
the thing itself,
and they they just rob these people every week or something.
Yeah, that's their game. They fake. Because that's the best way to get people to come to you is to announce a giant circle jerk, and God knows what'll show up, but it's gonna be a lot of something.
It's a different angle.
Yeah,
you gotta give them that.
And then they just roll you as soon as you walk in the door.
Well, and the other
for 33 years straight.
Well, fine, but the other worry was when I've done when I walked to it in the morning. Even in the morning, it was not like a great area. There was several homeless gentlemen camped out right by the building.
There are several homeless gentlemen by
I understand this.
The baseball field. Like that.
No,
all
dude.
over there. There's homeless people.
I have walked around.
They don't boot them out of there.
I've walked around Comerica Park before. I've walked around Chicago before. It just had a really bad feel. So my point.
I know you've said that before.
That's all right.
Well, so that was my point. So I was talking to my mom that night on the phone, and I was just like, I was so nervous, and she was just like telling me really like, if you just don't feel safe, you don't have to do this,
Dude, think about the context of this.
The
mother-son interaction here.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to go to the Jack-Off Club.
Tonight. It was in an hour. I was about to head over there. It was literally, this was like as I was about to walk out the door and walk there.
Oh, this poor
she must
lady
hang
is
up
sitting
the
at home.
phone and just shake her head.
She must be like, oh my God, Eric. Oh my God.
Of all the things that I thought would happen when I squeezed this thing out of my vagine,
right?
I expected at some point I was going to go through the masturbation period with a young gentleman in the house. I was going to go through some rebellious periods, perhaps some speeding tickets to deal with.
Maybe Confederate flag.
Maybe even a drunk driving or Confederate flag issue, racism issue. I can deal with all of those.
Just assume that she would.
I'm just thinking, like, what are the horror things?
Yeah.
I can promise you,
never
in a million years
did
she think at some point I will be on the phone with my son, who's hesitant to walk into a jack-off club.
And I'm giving him a pep talk. You can do this, Eric.
She didn't ever say you can do this.
I'm
she
praying
was more
for you,
negative.
Did she actually say she was praying for you?
There was text as I was walking to the club that said that prayers were being given.
Oh, that's
awesome.
awesome.
What is a prayer like that? Like if you declare that,
Please God protect Eric as he walks into the Jack-Off Club.
As you know, Eric's walking into the San Francisco Jacks at this very moment. He's going to be surrounded by like-minded men who want to jack off with each other.
Please
and,
let him resist the temptation.
Please don't let him get anything on his body, because we don't know what these men have, what kind of diseases they may carry.
Please protect all of his orifices.
In your
Put
name,
up a shield.
In your name we pray, Lord. Amen.
Jesus' name.
Jesus'
Amen.
name, amen. Prayers were given. There was prayers
Oh,
given to my.
shit.
I wouldn't even want to admit that to God. I would hope he was paying attention to something else, and maybe he just missed that for a
Deflect his
minute.
attention somehow.
Yeah, that you could skate that one by
Yeah,
God's eyes somehow.
There's no question. The worst part about the rebellion, when you mentioned the rebellious state, obviously, is the rebellious state came after it does for most kids, and has continued
In your 30s.
as opposed to
as you live in their basement.
going at 13, 14, and then being by 19, you're kind of like, okay, I'm ready to be done with
Yeah,
this.
I don't want to belabor it, but I just can't imagine in that scenario, like if my mom called, because I'm assuming you're not calling your mom a ton, but if my mom called, it would just be like, no, we're good. We are good. I'm going to go in, I'll be in and out in 5 minutes, Ma.
I can't imagine
sweat
like
it.
my mom even knowing I'm doing that.
Well,
Right.
trust me, that
I
wasn't
could
the
see-
ideal situation, dude. I didn't want her to know.
I could see calling Jay, calling God damn it, son Derek,
Yeah.
and going, dude, fuck, I'm dying here. Oh
And me
my
going,
God.
dude, you're gonna get butt raped.
I could totally see calling you guys going, dude, come on, give me. I just got to go through the door. But my mom, no way,
No.
absolutely not. Off the table.
Trust me,
off the table.
If I hadn't been living at home, I probably wouldn't have even said I was going to San Francisco. So the only reason is I have to explain why I'm gone for the 4 days. Like, I can't just not explain that. That's the only reason. Trust me.
If you're going to San Francisco, be sure
We've got to.
I will say, I will never forget that walk and seeing those texts and having the thought of what was about to happen. Never.
Yeah, I'm glad your mom was there for you during that.
And so was the Lord.
And the Lord.
Anyway, should we get on with the show?
We should.
Sure.
Hey, are you moving and live far away from Radio for One Studios but want to support the Detroit Cast? Call Chris Stajelski of Remax Suburban. She'll refer you to an excellent realtor in your area, anywhere in the country or even Canada, if you plan on moving there after the election. Check out Krista's website at kristasellshouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900 for more details.
Did you see the new Fox News poll that came out last night?
Yeah, with Trump winning.
That's hilarious. I did not think that was possible this past night. I'm not sure why this is, but in a hypothetical head-to-head, they say that Trump is now leading 45-42 over Hillary Clinton. That's incredible. The poll also says that both of them are absolutely hateable,
Yeah.
which, we've talked about many times. It was less than 4 weeks ago that she was up by 7 points, 48-41. Is currently ahead 14 points among women. Trump leads a larger 22-point lead among men. He also tops Clinton by 37 points amongst working class whites. Clinton has a 83-point lead among blacks. Wow. Clinton and Trump have made quite an impression so far. Overall, voters feel the candidates lack honesty, empathy, strong moral values, and that they'll say anything to win.
Oh, they both suck.
Yeah. Clinton has a negative honesty rating of negative 35 points. A record 66% say she is not.
Wow.
Yeah.
These are our choices, ladies and gentlemen. These are the two best people, the two best candidates.
Are they?
To be our president.
Are they really?
Isn't that
in
incredible?
the whole country.
Yeah, out of
These
350 million, we couldn't find two better candidates.
Trump doesn't do much better on her. She's at 66% saying she's not honest. He's at 57% saying that he's not honest. Over half say the phrase has strong moral values does not describe Clinton. 57%. Trump's at 58%. Many think cares about people like me doesn't fit Trump. 55% believe that. Clinton performs best on is a strong leader. 49% say it applies to her, while 50% say it doesn't. Strong leader is also Trump's best trait at 59%. Feel that describes him. 38% disagree.
Wait, her best trait was strong leader, and she was only at 49?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. Most think Clinton, 71%. And Trump, 65%, will, quote, say anything to get elected. I totally feel that with both of them.
Yep.
And I feel like that's worse with Hillary for some reason. Even though I know I'm starting to get that feeling more and more with Trump that
Well, harken back to Trump's discussion about or trying to get the evangelicals in Iowa, how just nauseating that was.
Yeah, it was pathetic.
Yeah.
That was pathetic. Just
2 Corinthians.
Is he done with that? Does he care about religion anymore?
No, fuck
Okay.
no.
I haven't heard him reference.
Which is comical. Which he came out with his list of judges yesterday too.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that, but this is supposed to. This
His
is
short
another
list
move
of judges that he would put on the consider for Supreme Court
for Scalia's seat and possible openings for other ones. And this is one of those that the evangelical or the hardcore right, like hardcore right, are going, well,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about. Like this is getting those guys rock hard. If you're one of those super conservatives, you love the list of judges he put out. I don't know how terribly necessary that was.
It was necessary because
You think
the
so?
right is totally doubting whether he's conservative.
Yeah. Well,
So steps like that are easy to just go, yeah, here's my list.
yeah.
Because he doesn't give a fuck, really.
No, I don't think he does. Seeing that too, because I know there's no way Trump is familiar with probably 90% of these judges.
Yeah.
This strikes me as one of those, like, you've got a room full of people going,
Make sure
Dude.
there's 3 women on it.
yeah,
Get some minorities on there if you can, but
Yeah.
they've got to be conservative.
these ones will gather that conservative base. We're the evangelical base. We really need to tie down
Yeah.
Donald. We're going to need them come November. This list of names will do that for you.
Is this the most tremendous list? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, then we go with it.
This is the greatest list ever. Hillary Clinton and Donald, by the way, released their not taxes, but financial documents showing hers, anyways, showing that
she's friggin' loaded, huh?
Oh God, she is. I know. Isn't it funny? It seems like just a year ago we were talking about how broke she was when she left the White House.
Poor Hillary.
I mean, basically homeless when she left the White House is what she was trying to say.
Yeah, with furniture from the Lincoln bedroom.
Right. She says that in 2015 she earned more than $5 million in royalties from her book Hard Choices. Who is the person that bought the book Hard Choices with Hillary Clinton on the cover?
It followed It Takes a Village. I mean, come on, you were waiting for the
was that part 2 to It
Yeah,
Takes a
come on.
Village?
I don't know.
Dude, I pulled that book cover up and I was like,
Oh, is it Nana herself on the cover?
It's just like a fish on
Oh.
a Nana, and it's like, oh, Nana, turn it down. Turn it. Can we get a
Gross.
distance
I have
shot?
not seen your Nana this happy in years.
That's one of those where you shoot it as the sun's going down.
Oh,
See what I'm saying?
look at those Nana cheeks, man.
They're weird.
She's rocking those things.
That's one of those book covers where Hard Choices, and you have her as the sun setting on a fall day overlooking a river, and you kind of shoot her from a side profile back in a distance.
Yeah, you were gonna say back, and I'm thinking, you don't go straight rear.
No,
You've gotta
absolutely
go-
not.
Yeah, you
No,
gotta
no,
have
no,
her
no.
positioned diagonally just right.
Profile-ish.
1 foot in front of the other a little bit.
Yeah, a little sort of a George
little bit. General Washington.
General Washington. Maybe as she's pondering those hard choices.
Right.
You just kind of have her looking up at the sun, the setting sun, but to have it like boom in your face.
Yeah.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that flew off the shelves. My guess is it didn't. But she apparently made $5 million in royalties from that book. Another $1.5 million in speaking fees. Bill Clinton is cleaning house. He's got a lucrative speaking tour that ran through last November. Got him more than $5 million from banking, tech, and corporate interests. Hillary released the candidate financial disclosure form that she filed with the Federal Election Commission. The 11-page document shows that most of her personal wealth is held in a Vanguard 500 index fund and JP Morgan account, both valued at $5 million and $25 million.
Why do these groups then so easily fall for this notion? Like she's for the little people and she
Yeah.
identifies with them. Like,
Yeah.
See through that. It's so easy. Look at this. They're
Yeah.
rich as shit.
Yeah.
They're not one
Loaded.
of you. They're not one of you.
I thought I heard yesterday that did they just get their daughter a job paying almost $1 million a year? I thought there were some strings pulled. I could be wrong about
Nice.
that. I just saw some like
Wouldn't doubt it.
fleeting story. I was like, really? Now she needs a $900,000 a year job?
Yeah,
Okay.
think about that. What a coincidence that these two would be such a power couple, but just have such a qualified daughter
Yeah.
that could quickly in her 30s rise to $1 million a year salary. I mean, it's
Right.
just amazing. What a
Sure.
coincidence. Just incredible people.
Clinton's campaign released her disclosure just hours after Trump put out a statement describing his personal wealth at $10 billion. According to Trump, over the last 17 months, his business revenues grew by $190 million. He'd earned $557 million in income. As far as Clinton's speeches, they talk about, there's a whole list of them, but the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, and all she made at least 94 appearances before corporate and other special interests between 2013 and 15, earning more than $21.6 million.
What do her neighbors to the north care about her?
I don't know, but she was getting $262,500 for a less than an hour speech to these people. You cunts! I'm sorry, dude, honestly, what are you paying for? She's not terribly interesting. She speaks like shit. She's a horrible speaker. Like, what? You're paying her for one thing and one thing only, for favor down the road. Influence and favor. Why would all these banking people want to have Hillary Clinton speak to them for $250,000 a pop?
It's a great question.
It doesn't make sense. She's not terribly interesting. She's not well-spoken. Bill Clinton, you want to get Bill Clinton and go, hell yeah, we're paying him $1 million. Bill Clinton speaks well. He sounds good. Who wouldn't want to sit down and go, oh man, you ain't gonna believe it. This is one time I was sitting in the White House. I'm on the phone with fucking Putin, man, and this bitch is blowing me under the table. Like, dude, you could sit in that room and listen to that guy ramble for hours and be highly, highly entertained. Hillary Clinton,
fucking president for 8 years too.
Yeah, absolutely. You didn't have to. I didn't like his politics, but the guy was great. You could sit and listen to that dude forever. Hillary Clinton admits she's a bore.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the draw to pay her $250,000? It makes no sense. None. Bill had appearances at a Nashville UBS Wealth Management America Swiss International Bank that Hillary also spoke at. Among his other speech clients was Apollo Management Holdings, an investment firm that his wife also spoke to, the tech firm Oracle, and National Association of Manufacturers, a trade and lobbying group. He limited his paid speeches last year to domestic only. So anyway, and with Trump's finances, it's hard because they give you these, I guess, for what you have to disclose to the commission here, it's really broad. So it's not like, that's why the taxes thing is more dialed in, because it can be like, oh, what's your estimated value of this? And he can go, oh, it's $1 million. And it could have been $20 million, or it's worth $1 million and he claims it's 20.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of they don't ask you to get terribly specific. So him declaring on this that I'm worth billions, that doesn't mean a tremendous amount. But
so does this disclosure cut back on anything Hillary said recently? Because Bernie pressed her on this a bit. I mean, she's obviously trying to downplay it, but there was a point where wasn't he demanding that she disclose this stuff? And he was like, I'll disclose mine. Blank piece of paper right
No, he wants her to disclose the transcripts of any of those speeches. Like, okay, if you're not out there telling them that that they're the greatest thing ever, you're out here pandering to all these poor motherfuckers, telling them that you're gonna save the day for them. And what I think is going on is you're going into these meetings, you're taking $250,000 a shot, and you're blowing every one of them. Like, that's his claim.
Yeah.
So he's going, release the transcript. If that's not going on, release the transcript. She's going, I'll release my transcripts when everybody releases theirs. He's like,
I'll release my transcript.
And he's going, fine, here's my transcripts. Zip squat. Nobody's paying me a fucking nickel to talk to. I've made absolute shit from these people. They won't pay me a dime. Nobody wants to feel the burn in those rooms. Nobody.
Yeah.
It's a good move, but all I can deem from that, it's kind of like Trump's taxes. Okay, maybe there is something going on with his taxes. He's so adamant that he doesn't want to release any of them. It's easy to go, because if there's really nothing, why wouldn't you just go, oh yeah, absolutely, here you go.
I think it could very well be that it'll be disclosed that he's worth way less than he claims, and that's the biggest problem for him.
Well, with his ego, that would make sense. That would at least make sense, because but if it was like, he sucks at giving to charities, he doesn't tithe anything, he doesn't
of course he doesn't.
Right, of course we know that, but to other people, I mean, when he's pandering 2 Corinthians and all that shit,
The Bible, the Bible, my favorite book.
Greatest release ever.
What a clown, dude! He's walking around with a Bible for a week during Iowa, and now it's like, where's that Bible now?
Yeah, deserves to be where it's
in the
rated.
Iowa
It's one
file.
of the greatest books ever written. The Bible. It's one of my favorites.
Second favorite Art of the Deal. Dickhead.
As if Art of the Deal. Anyway,
the deal next to the Bible. Like, even if
you
you
ever
believe in the Bible, like if you actually believe in the Bible and you're religious, that is so embarrassing.
have you ever had? When was the last time you asked for forgiveness, Donald? Well, yeah, I try not to do wrong, so I don't have to ask for. Like, that shows you what an amateur is. Like I think that all of it is kind of funny, but even I know, like, the moral of the Bible is like we're all need forgiveness for shit. Like, that's the point. Is like you're human. You make mistakes. You do wrong.
Entire point of Christianity,
right? So to be like, yes,
I don't do wrong.
Now that I think about it, I don't really need to ask forgiveness for anything. I'm great in everything I do.
You missed it, Donald.
There was such a that is as big a Nerf toss softball question as you can get.
All he had to say is just today or 5 seconds. You could say 5 seconds ago. You could say right before I got on here, I asked for forgiveness. I mean, because you would have to. You technically have to
everybody's trying to trap him into this admission that he's made mistakes over and over and over. You saw that in Megyn Kelly and shit. And so that's part and parcel of that whole thing. And he can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like to look back, and there's some things I would have been done different. Is that a mistake? Well, some things I do differently. It doesn't mean it's a mistake. It means I move forward. Like,
Yeah,
dude, he can't say it.
He can't show weakness on anything. That's part of his problem. Yeah, is that, but it also gives an aura of strength too. There's sort of this weird strength about that, where it's like, I refuse to show weakness and I'm looking out for you. I just can't get over the idea of saying President Trump. That just sounds so idiocracy that it's tough for me, but I'll still vote for him over Hillary for sure. Anyway.
First Lady Melania.
What will her platform be?
Thongs.
Yeah. What will she do? I mean, Mrs. Obama tackled the White House garden.
Yep.
And
Mrs. Obama wanted to tackle fat kids.
That's right.
Now, that was her big push, was eliminating fat kids.
Like, you don't want a big fat ass like mine.
Yeah. And so she changed the school lunches and all that, which probably got dumped in the garbage.
Yes.
The kids just didn't eat it. Yeah, fuck your fruit, bitch.
How's that worked? Are we less fat now? 8 years later?
I think we
almost?
are. I think it's worked well for her. Like Nancy with the Say No to Drugs really worked well.
Yep.
I mean, that was a home run for the Reagans.
Yeah.
And for the country, right?
Oh, absolutely. And now that we've licked drugs in this country, it's been
Hillary
really
Care worked. Yeah.
Hillary Care.
That was awesome that Bill appoints his wife to, I don't know, change our healthcare system. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
God, it's ridiculous.
It is. It's just so funny. Melania will be in charge of making sure no young child, no young girl goes without panties this fall.
Sexy panties, not just.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're going to be the sexiest panties ever.
They'll have Trump president on the ass of every one of them. On the House, those are free. That's a federal program Melania's been working very, very hard on. You see,
is the White House going to have the T on it? Is he going to, you know what I mean? Like, everything he does has the Trump logo. Will the White House become?
I don't think he'll be able to pull that off, but oh God, just think of his businesses going forward. Like fast forward 4 years or 8 years or however long a Trump presidency would last. Imagine the presidential seal on every Trump building and office and
Vegas
and plane. From that day forward, they'd just be pictures of him in the White House everywhere he goes with the presidential seal.
God.
Wow.
This is happening.
Yeah. Hell yeah, it is. Get used to it. Maybe we should all move to Wisconsin. Then you can just bury yourself in alcohol and not worry about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't that sound all right?
You did that here, I suppose.
Yeah, but Wisconsin,
I know.
They've been voted the drunkest city in the United States. Well,
Which city?
Appleton, Wisconsin specific. But basically, throw a dart at Wisconsin, and one of those cities that you hit will be in the top. So they say more than 1 in 4 drinking to excess. A report has found Appleton is home to the largest share of binge and heavy drinkers in both Wisconsin and the country. The report by 24/7 Wall Street found 26.8% of adults there drink to excess, and 30% of driving deaths involve alcohol.
Oh my God.
Is that a lot? I would think that most driving deaths would be alcohol related. No?
Now I gotta be honest, with smartphones and stuff now, it probably was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but now with smartphones and stuff, I bet those are moved up.
I guess there's way more accidents than just drunk drivings, but it seems like when you have those big crash ups that a lot of them would be alcohol related. But To identify the drunkest and least cities in the United States, they reviewed self-reported binge and heavy drinking rates among adults in the U.S. metro areas from county health rankings and roadmaps. It also looked at the driest cities in the United States. Where do you think the driest city in America would be?
Utah.
There you go. Provo, Utah. In fact, Utah ate up 3 of the top 4 spots. Oh, man. Keep me out of Utah.
Yeah. Boring.
Appleton, Wisconsin, number 1. Oshkosh, Neenah, Wisconsin, number 2. Green Bay, Wisconsin, number 3. Madison, Wisconsin, number 4.
Wow, they're locking it down.
Fargo, North Dakota comes in at number 5.
Yeah.
La Crosse, Wisconsin at 6. Fond du Lake, Wisconsin, 7. Ames, Iowa at 8. Eau Claire, Wisconsin at 9. Wausau, Wisconsin at 11. Sheboygan, Wisconsin at 12. Racine, Wisconsin at 15. Janesville, Beloit, Wisconsin at 16. Milwaukee at 17.
Milwaukee.
Yes.
Dude, that's
Solid.
incredible.
Isn't that crazy?
Solid.
These are all frozen places. These are all, like, every one of them is where you're just like, yeah, it's too fucking cold to do anything. So you
Drink
get
some
hammered.
beer.
Yeah, it's not bad, right? Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin,
Yeah, it's that whole
North
region, right?
Dakota, Montana, Nebraska. Lincoln, Nebraska comes in at 18. Yeah, that's crazy. But then there's some weird ones on the driest cities too. West Virginia.
Really?
Is it just because they're all the
Virginia.
oxy going on in West Virginia?
All the meth.
Yeah, they're
all
just
the
doing
meth
other
and
kind of
oxys.
drugs.
Yeah, they're getting. Trust me, they're fucked up in West Virginia. But
I definitely have a when I think of West Virginia, I think fucked up. Like
Yeah.
immediately.
yeah,
Isn't that weird? Like I'm sure there's some very smart, fine people in West Virginia, but
Yeah.
I just think, wow, that's ridiculous.
that's what I think too. I've been
But
there.
you know
I've
what? The
driven
Mike's
through
right
there.
though.
It's like,
I bet it's not a drinking thing is the thing because I think
I know
it's
drugs
others,
are rampant there.
right. It's got to be other stuff because you're right. I've had the same thought.
Let's see. Tennessee comes in with a few cities. West Virginia again. Kentucky. I would think Kentucky would be hammered drunk. Maybe they're all.
You know what though? There's still dry counties in some of these places. Not that means that people don't obviously drink and binge drink, but maybe I don't know. Maybe it helps a little.
Farmington, New Mexico. Unfortunately.
Oh, this is an international list.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude,
sure is.
I was talking to a guy just yesterday and I asked him, oh, where'd you live before here? He mentioned New Mexico and I almost said, oh, out of the country. I'm like, he won't.
You're a dual citizen.
He'll look at me like I'm fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. He would have.
Yeah, so I let that
You
one
would've-
lie.
Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to. I would have had to plow forward with that for sure. God, I was hoping Kadog was going to be here today.
Why would he?
He wouldn't, but it would have been good if we would have had this story yesterday for him as a girl died hammock related accident.
Oh no.
And I mean, if you can't say hammock now without immediately thinking of Kadog.
He needs to know about this.
Well, yeah, absolutely. 13-year-old girl. Wow, what a tragedy, man. 13-year-old girl dies in a hammock accident. Perry Sagan was playing with her sister Erin at her family home in Iowa this past week when she jumped onto a hammock in their garden. Erin was sitting on the hammock, and the extra weight caused a 5-foot-tall brick light post it was attached to collapse and fall on top of Perry.
Ooh.
She was hit in the head. Her sister. Imagine
Something
that
funny
scene
about that,
playing
Ian?
out.
Was there
No,
something funny?
Nothing.
Imagine
Oh, you're just scoping something else on the
No, I'm
internet.
laughing at inappropriate things.
Yeah.
You're sure.
So she gets hit in the head with a falling tower of bricks.
Yeah, so she's jumping in on top of her sister, collapses the thing, and boom,
Bang.
right into her head.
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine that scene playing out as the kid goes running in like, Dad, Dad, Dad. Dad comes out, is trying to call 911 and do CPR while his daughter's dying in this. She died about an hour later in the hospital. They say this light post it was 5 feet tall and 2 feet wide. It was only sunk a few inches into the ground, no other support. And so you've got this hammock tied to it,
Yeah.
secured to it.
Basically just a brick post sitting there
Yeah.
being pulled on.
Waiting to be toppled.
See, Kadog would never do that.
No,
Kadog
you're
would
right.
Find an appropriate stud to screw into
Oh my
Yeah.
God. It
his
was
hammock as well.
Yeah.
And he'd have it properly anchored.
yeah.
Agreed. You're right. I think of that sister. The
His sister,
16-year-old
his
sister.
hot one or his ugly one?
No, not dogs. No. I'm talking about the dead girl's sister, who's the one that went, my sister's sleeping on a hammock and goes running in to jump on her and topples the
Yeah.
thing.
Oof.
Imagine
rough
living
life.
with that for the rest of your life at 16.
Was this foreseeable? Do we have an image of the 16-year-old sister?
I don't know.
Is she friggin' huge?
Well, the daughter was, and I did see a picture of the one.
Really?
I want to look her up really quick. The daughter, she's kind of a nerd, but I don't want to rag on her. She's 13, a little goofy 13-year-old.
I just wonder if we're talking about a big, here I come, I'm gonna jump on that hammock.
Yeah, I don't
Whether
know
it's
that they
foreseeable.
showed her. I don't know that I didn't see a picture of her.
I can't believe that
Personally.
you saw any picture of this just because how young they are.
Yeah. You mean the dead girl?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did.
I know,
think
I'm
she has
just saying that.
glasses and long hair.
Mm.
It's like the typical little 13-year-old nerdy girl. That'd be a tough one. And then while E looks for that, the family of a man crushed to death on a World War II tank is suing the Jelly Belly family.
Okay.
You have too much money when you have toys like World War II tanks.
Dude, I think I saw some documentary a while ago or something, some collector of tanks.
Un collects them, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Doesn't
but
Un
just,
have a nice
just like
collection
a
of
private
tanks?
collector, like I think you're about to describe. He had like 6 tanks.
Yeah.
Just in these barns, and he'd roll one out. He'd throw his little helmet on, his little
Hell
Dukakis
yeah.
helmet on, and
Ugh.
go driving around. Tanks are badass.
Yeah, they are.
Remember that dude who stole one and went whipping aroround a city? Just
San Diego.
Was it San Diego?
Yeah.
Just clobbering shit,
Dude,
man.
he destroyed like a block full of cars, just and rolled over them. Do you remember what stopped him? Well, a bullet in the head stopped him.
Yeah, ultimately.
But I think he
No,
hit
I don't.
I think he hit a pole or a phone pole or something. And it finally, I mean, after destroying 60 cars or something, I think the thing finally shit out and he got it stuck and he couldn't get out. And so they opened the top lid and just boom and shot him right where he sat inside the tanker. Yeah. Crazy story. There's video out there of that dude on
Where
his
did that
rampage.
tank come from? Where did he get the tank?
You know,
another private collection type
Probably.
thing? Has to be, right? There's just not tanks available for hijack.
I haven't seen them
in San Diego.
I haven't seen them, but in San Diego, there's military base is big there. So I don't know why you would need a tank at a San Diego military base, but yeah, I'm almost positive that was one of those beach communities that dude whipping down the street in a tank. How fun would that be, though?
Even ones that he didn't like monster truck, he at least clipped as he's going by.
Oh,
them,
hell
just-
yeah.
and these things are just spinning as he's rolling by.
Maybe that would be fun to pull up video of that if you can, of the guy on the tank that rolled through the neighborhood in San Diego. See if there's video
I
of
couldn't,
that.
by the way, I could find him.
Okay, fuck it.
The one
We've moved on anyways.
That's fine.
So anyway, this lawsuit claims negligence and wrongful death after Kevin Wright, a 54-year-old contractor, was run over back in August, so last summer. The Wright was hired to help maintain the family's tank collection. One of these. He was asked to hop on the vintage 1944 M5 tank owned by Jelly Belly chairman Herman Rowland.
But do you get a man who has everything?
A tank,
Yeah.
yes. So the antique tank was operated by Dwayne Brasher, who is also named in the suit, and is the husband of Jelly Belly's CEO Lisa Brasher.
The confectionery magnate.
Brasher was not, unfortunately, all that trained to drive this tank. The accident occurred at Roland's Tank Barn east of Napa. You have a tank barn in Napa, California. You know how much how expensive that would be?
Awesome.
The suit said Wright sat on the M5 tank backwards as Brasher drove. There was no seatbelt, no handrail. Why would there be? It's a
friggin'
tank. Seatbelt in a tank, handrails. Good Lord. Stop it.
Seatbelt.
So
on the outside of a tank.
So this guy apparently is standing up, or he's sitting in his tank seat backwards, and this idiot is driving kind of down a hill, and it's hitting some rocky terrain, and he's like, oh, and loses his balance and falls forward, and lands in front of the track on the tank, and then was promptly just.
Wonder if it's like the cartoons where you just had a track stamp.
Yeah.
All the way down.
Track stamp?
Track stamp.
I
There it
imagine
is.
you would.
Sean Nelson goes on a tank rampage in San Diego, 1995.
Hell yeah.
I don't even begin to know how to drive this thing,
That looks like fun. Let's run over that camper.
Hell yeah.
Cut that camper in half. Oh, hi, van. Goodbye, van.
It's just pushing this van for a block. Oh,
Another
great for an
camper.
RV.
God damn, dude. It runs right through an RV.
Yeah.
You have to know you're going to die soon with this kind of maneuvering, but God, would it be fun.
Look at him go. Look at that son of a bitch go.
The cops are on his ass.
What are you going to do?
Oh, hi, truck. Look at that. Yes.
Imagine being in your house. You're like, there's my truck sitting outside my house.
Oh, here's another car. Excuse me, sir.
What's with the music?
I don't know. Took down a wall. Oh, that would be so fun. But yeah, they ended up popping the top right off that thing.
Yeah.
Shooting him. I don't know where this lawsuit goes. So the Caterpillar truck ran him over. He was unfortunately fatally crushed. Now you see what the tank is capable of doing to a camper. Are
you suggesting smithereenies?
Yeah, I don't think that would do well. And as they say, he was fatally crushed.
Oh, is this the end? Hold on, this is the end here.
Boom! Yeah, okay. Was it a median cement wall median on the freeway? He got that son of a bitch on the freeway.
Oh, yeah, dude. He got the tracks. They couldn't touch the ground, right? He got up on top of the median.
That's right.
And the tracks were no longer touching.
And so that cop, one of those cops, they opened that door and boom!
Oh, man.
Isn't that crazy?
God, where'd he get the tank?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can read something and see where he got the tank from. Anyway, after the accident, Rowland said in a statement that Wright's death left the family in a state of shock. The gentleman involved in this accident was a passionate person, always ready to lend a hand, and we shared the same deep-rooted love of history. To have him die so tragically during our family reunion is impossible to comprehend.
Impossible.
Yeah. Utterly impossible.
Not impossible when you're dicking around with tanks.
Well,
improbable, not impossible.
Yeah. I would say not even improbable fits.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
probable.
It's like 50-50.
Set a guy on the back of a tank without a seatbelt, Mike.
Yeah, or a handrail.
And then you go flying down a rocky hill.
And have amateurs drive at the helm. I think it's likely that something eventually is going to lead to this.
Imminent.
I mean, when you start saying unforeseen.
Certain.
Certain. This
event was certain.
The gentleman involved in this accident was a passionate person, always ready to lend a hand, and we shared the same deep-rooted love of history. To have him die so tragically during our family reunion is absolutely plausible to comprehend. To have him die so tragically during our family reunion is likely to comprehend, is easy to comprehend.
Yes.
To have him die so tragically during our family reunion
was certain to occur.
To have him die so tragically during our family reunion was a near
imminent,
a near certainty, eventual certainty.
It's only a matter of time.
It looked like he was an Army veteran, unemployed plumber who stole the tank from the United States National Guard Armory in San Diego. It looked like he'd been telling his friends before that he'd been contemplating suicide. Then he thought Oklahoma was cool. He was down with the Oklahoma City bombing.
Oh boy!
And then that night he just drove to the thing. It's usually locked. It wasn't. Looked like he used a crowbar to break open the tank hatches. And normally it was locked by 5 o'clock. I guess they were working late, so the gate was just open. So he just drove in,
yeah.
Stole a tank.
Yeah.
Lessons learned.
I think that was one of those on national TV too at the time, wasn't it?
It was all over the place. That was back when police chases were really big, and they were
Cops was
televising
probably
a lot of those.
Big. Remember Cops?
Yeah,
that was huge then in '95. So yeah, let's get some crazy ones like that.
God, police chases. I wish we had more of them. We just had one the other day, didn't we? I thought maybe not. What was I thinking of?
Where? When?
Yeah, there's lots of them all the time.
No, I thought there was one in
locally.
No, God, no, in the East Coast somewhere.
Good point, E.
It
was just that I like cop chases, and I think there was one like a week ago. Not even.
I'm sure there was.
Well, it was on, I think it was
remote.
notable that it was on TV. I guess it was on Good Morning America or something. That's the reason
Yeah. Anyway, why don't we take a quick time out? And when we come back, I got to tell you about this this California hospital that's having trouble pulling the plug on this dead son of a bitch here.
Dead?
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Dead?
Yeah. For all intents and purposes. We'll do that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. We're closer than you think, and we have deals that do not stink. Zott Ford at I-75 and exit 98 is the only place you can lease the all-new 2016 Ford F-150 Super Crew four-wheel drive for $188 a month. That's correct. Zott Ford has F-150 Super Crews for just $188 per month. Check out our obnoxious deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com. That's SZOTT.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
He's got AIDS.
You give him those AIDS.
And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
Welcome back to the Detroit Cast. It's funny you mentioned the AIDS drop.
The AIDS.
I was reading a story earlier about a guy who robbed an Uber driver, and he used a syringe that he claimed was
you got mace, motherfucker.
it's filled with AIDS blood. I'm gonna stick you with a needle with AIDS blood.
Oh man.
What is it with rolling an Uber driver or I've never understood the idea of rolling one of those guys. Like,
well, Uber is all electronic too. All the transaction takes place through PayPal and shit. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't have any money. I mean,
they,
if
they have
the
whatever money a guy would have rolling
Right.
around in his car.
Right. Whatever he has in his pocket, I guess.
It's not like he's a bank teller with a till on his front seat.
That seems like a weird target.
I guess maybe because you can just they're exposed. You know, they're driving. They're busy driving, and you can do what
Yeah.
you got to do to threaten them and wait till you're in an area where you're comfortable with. I don't know.
Where do you even buy a needle filled with AIDS? Like that's like I don't even know where you would get that. Is that a black market thing? Like where does one obtain a needle filled with AIDS? AIDS blood. And how much do you
I don't know from E. Go over there and stick him with.
Have AIDS. Come on now.
I didn't give him those AIDS.
When he had those AIDS.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I think the guy remained calm and got out of there without getting AIDS blood stuck in
I
him.
sense some shenanigans, tomfoolery, wool being pulled, perhaps.
Yeah, you think are you declaring that it wasn't actual AIDS blood in the needle?
I can't be certain.
Yeah, I can't either. I think you could say it could be anything in there as long as it was red.
Might not be blood, right?
Yeah. The other story that was well, that one wasn't breaking, but the one that was breaking this morning when we when
Tragedy
everybody
in the
woke
air,
up,
Mike.
yeah, another plane crash.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gotta admit,
I'm so desensitized now when I hear like every station has their version of the bum 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 breaking news. This just in, and it's like, oh, okay, and it's like, you know, CNN troops are press is on the ground in Ferguson, Missouri. You're like, oh, okay, breaking news. Glad Anderson Cooper's safely on the ground in Ferguson, Missouri. Thanks for that breaking news update.
Glad Don Lemon's on the street.
Yeah. But the breaking news alarm it woke me up, you know, and I woke up and turned on the TV. I'm laying there and it's like, bum, 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 breaking news. And I'm like,
Be honest, you have the glow of CNN in your bedroom all night long.
sort
You
of.
do.
Unless Beth is here,
don't
she
know how
makes
you
me turn it off. But
I don't know how you can
all
sleep
right,
to
you got
that.
me.
No, and I sleep to TV. Don't get me wrong, but like the
Yeah.
news to me, things like
Well,
that.
I could be watching something though on TiVo and or DVR, and then I fall asleep. The program runs out, and then it
Okay.
kicks back onto the TV, and
Yep.
then when I wake up, it's just on whatever.
Nope, that makes sense. to me.
So that happens a lot. Happened this morning. It happened to be on CNN, and they were breaking news about a plane crash.
The loss of an Airbus A320 over the Mediterranean. So Paris to Cairo.
Question, right, Mike?
Dropped off radar at 2:45 a.m. Cairo time when it was flying at 37,000 feet, 175 miles north of the Egyptian coast.
How many important people died? How many people do we care about?
Well, I got to admit, here's my line of thinking. I get in my car and I throw on CNN driving over here and I hear the breaking.
Yeah.
Have breaking news this morning. Of course, the crash. And I'm like, oh, shit, fucking plane crash. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What is this?
How many 350 people?
Envisioning just this massive plane over New Jersey or some
Northwest
shit.
Flight 250 going down at Metro. And you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
my heart sinks as I think about the impact on America and how we're going to react. And then they're like,
Yeah.
well, it's Egypt Air. And I go,
oh, well.
Still bad news, but a little better news.
Yeah,
And
not
then they go,
quite as tragic.
Not quite as
perhaps.
tragic.
Yeah, tragic. nonetheless.
Missing over the Mediterranean.
Oh,
okay. Well,
okay.
that's over there.
Mm.
And then I hear all 66 people are missing. Oh,
just 66.
Just 66 people.
Well, and it's not that you're happy, but you're just like, wow, could have been much worse.
Yes. That's it. Right, Mike?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking.
I thought the same
That's
thing.
the core of my thought, I think.
Yeah,
I didn't articulate that well.
Yeah, that's what it is, because I did the exact same thing when the details came in from the bum 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 breaking news. It's like plane crash. Oh no. Oh dear.
Oh shit.
Air Egypt. Okay, well that's
okay. Well.
all 66 people on board missing. Well,
You're like
66. Well,
yes, thank you. Wow, this is good.
Whew, we really dodged a bullet there.
Thought we were going to be talking about bad news this morning.
Yeah, this is, whew, you know, I understand you got to cover this, but wow. Now, but it's all over. It's anything to not cover the politics or whatever's going on. Because as we've said many, many times on this show, we are one attack from like, just Hillary can just drop out of the race. Like
why we even having a race?
Because this is probably terrorist related. This is a plane that was cruising at an altitude of 30,000 feet. This wasn't one of those like during takeoff or landing. It's just cruising. Planes just don't explode when they're just cruising through the air.
Typically, no.
So odds are, and this will be developing all day. They could have an answer by now, even. But that this is terrorist related. That's all arrows are pointing that way. If that happens on American soil somewhere, where a building is blown up, a plane goes down, and it's terrorist related, like, well, we don't even need to finish this race. Just give it to Trump.
Yeah.
Like that's his thing. He's banking on something big happening between now and November.
Yes. Hillary will stand up there and give a measured response.
Yes.
And Trump will be like, we're going to light them up.
Yes.
Every last one of these Arabs.
No more of these Rabs are welcome in this country until we figure out what's going on.
And every last American's going to go, yeah, hell yeah.
Fuck them all. God damn it. Goddamn goat fuckers, get out of a country. Go on,
get off my land.
Go on, get. That's what'll happen. And Hillary will be stuck in that weird position where she can't say Islamic extremist.
She's never said
offending someone.
Yes, for fear of
be like, fucking extremist goat fuckers, get them out of our country. Hell yeah. America.
She would be in a bit of a pickle at that point, wouldn't she? Behind the
she
eight
would.
balls, so to speak.
Yes. I mean, they have to, like, that's got to be involved in her nightly prayers at this point. And she's not on a knee.
As if. As if. Don't even
Dear Lord, please, if you could, keep any terrorist attack on American soil away from us till November. Anyway. So now you're updated on the plane crash.
Right.
Tragic.
Which, again, is pretty good news.
Yeah.
All things considered.
All things considered, you're right. You're right. God, I want this girl taken out. I
What
gotta
are
be
you
honest,
talking
Jay.
about?
Well, there's a poor girl, and it's terrible. California hospital is trying to pull the plug on this son of a bitch.
Let me see her.
Well, she's been comatose, and they're declaring her brain dead. Her name's Anita Meshkin. She's 29. She's been in a coma for 9 years.
Woo!
Guess what happened to
Quite
her?
a run.
What?
She suffered a seizure while battling anorexia. It looks like she won her. I'm going to say.
Yeah, she's not battling anorexia anymore.
Right.
She's
I mean, she won that battle.
She's
like
in a different battle.
in a landslide. She beat that anorexia.
Kicked its ass.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like when you think of beating anorexia, I mean, she walloped anorexia.
Pummeled anorexia. But in the process, took on a bit of a different problem.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
So anyway, last year, the care facility where she's been on life support for these 9 years declared her brain dead and told her father, yeah, look, dude, we are dying to pull the plug on your daughter. She's gone. She's been like this for 9 years. It's time.
Did he do the whole she squeezed my hand thing?
Yeah, they're
That's
kind of
usually what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, she squeezed my hand.
She's alive. She's alive. John Muir Medical Center in Walnut Creek, California, also refused to operate on her infected, fractured hip.
Wait,
and
what?
She's just laying there with an infected, fractured hip.
How do you get a fractured hip? They drop her while trying to clean it?
Maybe. Well,
seriously, how do you fracture your hip? You're comatose.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know, but they
she
said
must have rolled off. Like she didn't roll, but maybe someone was. They probably still have to do like her bed
Some
sores
sort of
and
malpractice.
stuff.
Yes, you got to roll her over
bed
from
sores are
time to
common.
time.
She just fell one time and just like
Shit.
just put her back up, hoping that no one's gonna notice.
Yeah, how many times did they fall without them noticing? It just happens. She fractures her hip this time.
Right.
And they're
Probably
like,
goes
She's
on
gonna
all the
complain
time.
about it.
so dad wants him to fix the broken hip and all that.
They're like, shit, get her off the floor. The dad's coming in again today. Get her off the floor.
They're just dragging her one leg through the hall. Just put her in this room. Just throw her in the corner.
But for the fractured hip, he never knows.
They're just like, put some tubes in her nose. He's going to be here any minute. Jesus. Can we get some machines with some blinking lights on them and just anything that makes noise and blinks?
Plug
just
it into her.
Plug it in. Quick. Stick it in her ass. I don't care.
How's
Just
that graphic run on a loop where it's like a mountain?
They could be hanging this person in a closet and using that room until the time requires.
Good point. Those rooms are valuable, you know?
Which
you
is
could
the
double
problem.
book this son of a bitch. I challenge the dad to look in the closet while he's visiting. There's probably
coming for a sneak view.
They're changing,
A sneak.
yeah, they're probably changing them out.
Like walk out, go to your car, pretend like and then run around the back
in.
exit, and
yep.
I knew it.
They just fold the bed up into the wall.
Yeah, one of those. Rolling another
Shit, he's
bed.
coming back in. God damn. Pull the bed back down. No,
What are
she's
those?
good.
What are those called again?
Those retractable beds fold into the wall.
Those shitty apartments. I've never obviously.
And the one time they forgot to hook her seatbelt up, when they flipped
Broke
it
her
back
hip.
up, it broke her hip.
Now it's
situation.
infected.
Someone had an apartment where they came up with this idea that like to save room, we'll just
Yeah,
fold the bed. That's
I
like,
slept in those before.
have you really? Wow.
Not sure where, but I've definitely been in them. What are those damn things called, dude? I just stupid name for them.
Bed walls?
No.
Wall beds? Wall
Definitely
beds.
not. No,
Bed built into wall.
Retractable bed wall.
no,
Retractable wall bed?
no. It's not. It's a Murphy bed.
Oh, the Murphy. Yeah, of course. Well, her Murphy bed, they didn't latch her seatbelt. That's what I'm just guessing that's what happened, and she went falling
Yeah.
off and broke her hip. But they're like, yeah, we're not going to fix that because it's kind of unethical to treat a dead person. That's
Dude, picture her upside down. It folds in, and she's upside down at that point.
like a bat. Just oh, that's awful. This poor girl. Muhammad Meshkin, the dad, was not prepared to give up on his daughter, who he insisted, is she still alive?
She squeezed my hand.
Before the center could stop treatment, they filed a restrict. So they're just sitting there in the hallway, like as soon as that son of a bitch walks out the door, pillow in hand, they're just going right to her face and just choking her out. It's over.
He runs in with a restraining order.
Yeah, restraining order. And so everyone's like, fuck. Pump the brakes, everybody. Hold on. And so within hours, a judge called 2 independent doctors from UC San Francisco School of Medicine to carry out their own set of tests. And the doctors declared that Anita does not meet the clinical criteria for brain death after she reacted to pinch tests. Now you're telling me where we are medically in the world is we're doing pinch tests on
like
dead people?
Is this like a nerve and
Yes.
nerve ending and wind kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. I mean, there are muscles that still will
Fire.
twitch and fire and
I have a serious question when it comes to this. Like, assuming the family's able to pay the medical bills, why would I know that they could use that room? But think about it. Why would they care? Why
I think
would
that's
they
a big assumption.
Is that
I think
the-
that's
Oh,
probably
I think
that they're not paying?
humongous-
They're not
yes.
paying the medical bills.
that would be
But if they were
a-
able to pay it, wouldn't they just leave that dead body in there?
Sure, you could-
because then you're not even having to send anyone in that room.
if you're paying for that, you could pay for the same service at your house. You could keep her alive for 1,000 years
Yeah.
if you wanted.
Okay.
That no one's going to care.
I got you.
But dude, no, somebody else is paying for this, and they need the space. They can make money off this if someone else is in that room. John Muir has since operated on the hip now that they were like, yeah, we did the pinch test and we saw a toe flicker, so I guess she's still alive. And so they're in there operating on this dead girl's hip.
they don't even have to use anesthetic. They've got her hip wide open.
They're just going
Like,
to
see,
town on her.
look. I mean, that's her bone. That's her hip bone.
Yeah, they wouldn't bother, would they? She's not breathing on her own. It's not like she can.
I don't know.
The dad's like, yeah. So they fixed her hip, and now she's back at the care facility, just
Oh, she's
chilling.
demanding the gas.
I'll fight as long as she does. If she quits, I will quit. But I have my hope that she'll come back. The hospital could not comment. They said that the analysis for brain death went above and beyond the minimum stated by law.
Ugh.
And that minimum is brain death is the irreversible loss of all functions of the brain, including the brainstem, which controls breathing and other vital functions. Patients declared brain dead are considered legally dead, and life support can be withdrawn. If a patient is an organ donor, they are typically kept on a respirator until they can be harvested. Where there is doubt, they may be kept on life support pending a second opinion.
It's all about the medulla oblongata. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not firing.
Oh, I would so bring a pillow in there and just would anyone know if you just went in there with a pillow and just
Well, she sounds like she.
sweet princess, it'll be over soon. Shh. I mean, she's not going to bitch about it. If she does, you stop. I mean, obviously, if her arms go up and she's like, then stop. We like totally. Otherwise, that's murder, and that's not cool. But if she's not even resisting at all, like, and I don't consider like a toe wiggle like a resisting, personally.
I know you will already know this. But as a personal note to my friends and or loved ones, do not get in this situation because I will not be fighting for you for 9 years. They're gone.
Yeah.
They will be out of sight and out of mind. See ya.
Yeah, this
Like,
sucks because
dude,
I know Jay doesn't ever want to pull the plug. So if my family's gone, I'm counting on you.
Mike, I would have such confidence in you as the fighter that you are that you would come back.
No.
I'm not. Now, here's the only thing. It depends on, for me, Mike, it all goes to the money. If they're coming after me for money, like if for some reason, let's just say for some reason,
you're getting drained.
Dude, you're gone in a sec. The first check that comes in. See ya.
Gone.
I'm telling them, dude, can we do it tomorrow, yesterday? You know what I mean?
Send me on my way.
And I would say the same for my sister. If my sister would tomorrow end up in a coma and I'm having to start paying for that,
I'll pull the plug on her.
She's crazy.
No, I hear you.
I'm not sitting there fighting for 20 years for some person that's not going to do shit for me.
Yeah.
Well, what if she could? What if she's in a coma and you're alone with her? It's like,
Jay.
It's been a while. Would you ever?
No.
We talked about the fact that you would bang your sister.
No, I never said that I would.
I'm just extending it to a comatose state.
Ever said that I would bang my sister?
What if she's got some sort of social security check that's coming in and you need that thing kept alive to keep cashing those checks?
If it depends, it's a profit margins. I don't know if I probably said that
wrong.
No,
you said it right.
But it depends on how much I'm like. If that check is more than what I'm having to pay, then I'm keeping her alive as long as she can.
Keep her alive forever.
But if
as long as you're in the black,
right?
Yeah. You see George Zimmerman, the gun sold.
Yeah, he's getting a little payout, isn't he?
Yeah. I'm almost positive racist McShootface didn't
win the auction.
Winning, yeah. The gun Zimmerman used to shoot Trayvon Martin has reportedly been sold for 120 grand. I know there are reports out there that sold for 140 grand, but
what a piece of shit this guy is.
Yeah, I think that was the bid that bumped it up to 140 grand that a lot of people are reporting about. I think that was a fake bid by John Smith, one of those last minute thing where it automatically bids for you, and so it went up to the highest number, which was 140. But I think they deemed that fake.
Who's behind this?
I don't know. He said they haven't said yet who it was, but in a blog post, Zimmerman said, "Fellow patriots, first and foremost." He sounds like a forefather. Stop it, sir. I would like to thank and give glory to God for a successful auction. I would like to thank the United Gun Group for their moral fortitude. I would also like to thank all members of the United Gun Group for their support and words of encouragement. At this time, the auction with United Gun Group is closed. The original listing appeared last week with a starting price of $5 grand, but was soon removed, as we reported, because the Donald Trumps and Shoniqua Bonifa and racist McShootface were bidding that thing up to outrageous numbers. But anyway,
the United Gun Group. I can only imagine what they're about.
I think they just trade. I think it's just one of those where you can trade or sell guns legally.
Oh, it's the United Gun Group auction. That's the outfit he used. Okay. Gotcha.
Do you have to be in Florida, or is that? I mean, gun laws are different everywhere. I would assume. Can you trade state to state?
I don't know.
I'm not sure how that works. Probably a bad question to ask. Anyway, it's sold. So either way,
good for George.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he doesn't end up with a bullet from that gun in his head.
Yeah. He's probably going to end up at some point with a bullet in his head from a gun somewhere. Probably not this gun, but a gun. I would think
he's on that route.
Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook CEO.
Familiar with him?
He's met with conservatives, including Glenn Beck, radio host Glenn Beck, to discuss claims that the trending topics feature is biased against their viewpoints. I'm not sure exactly what the point of all this is, but the meeting also included American Enterprise Institute President Arthur Brooks, Tea Party Patriots CEO Jenny Beth Martin, and Brett Basel, the president of the Media Research Center, which says its sole mission is to expose and neutralize the propaganda arm of the left, the national news media. Zuckerberg invited the dozen or so conservatives after that Gizmodo report.
Yeah.
Claimed that Facebook downplays conservative news subjects on its trending feature. Basel said in a release that he looks forward to talking to Zuckerberg and Facebook because, as I'll explain to them, no one knows more about liberal bias in the media than we do. We've been documenting and exposing it for almost 30 years. Facebook has a serious problem. Zuckerberg took to his own Facebook page to announce his plans to speak with leading conservatives. I want to have a direct conversation about what Facebook stands for and how we can be sure our platform stays as open as possible.
He fucked with the Hooli algorithm.
Is that what it is?
He's trying to convince him he didn't, man. It's probably a prudent move by Zuckerberg to start meeting with these dudes. So I don't think you want to let this get away from you.
But how? So I guess I don't understand. Either you are or you aren't. And what are you going to apologize to Glenn Beck?
No, you're going to say that's not our algorithm. It's not happening. And to the extent there's some rogue guy, we're taking care of it. It's not an issue. We're not liberal.
Okay, but I guess I don't understand why you need to meet with all the.
Because otherwise, these guys are just going to continue to. You're just trying to
slam them,
trying to tamp it down, man.
Yeah,
because they're running with it. Everybody from the right has been pointing to the liberal media for 20 years, right? Like
at least,
yeah, screaming from the rooftops about the biased media, and so this is just a beautiful example to scream from the rooftops about. And so Zuckerberg's just trying to keep it under control.
Yeah. Trending topics were introduced in 2014 to appear in a separate section to the right of the Facebook newsfeed, which I've never once looked at.
No, didn't even know it's there. Fuck the book.
Facebook to me is something where people send you stories all day long from like 6 years ago. Like the amount of time someone's like, dude, you guys got to talk about this. Boom. And they send a story. And it's like, yeah, that happened in 2010.
Right.
Okay, great. Or they're fake.
Right.
The amount of fake stories where you're like, dude, did you really just link to basically an Onion story?
Yeah.
Of fake news? Like, it's weird. You can't trust any of it. And
I wonder how many people do look at those stories as like the news. Like look to that as a news source. I've just never ever in a million years thought of Facebook as a news source.
No.
I think it's a place for people to dick around. And
Twitter you think of as a news source.
Yeah.
With trending topics and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to get in that game, then let that be organic. Let your Hooli algorithm do its thing.
Do not mess with the Hooli algorithm.
When you talk about your Hooli algorithm with some human interaction, immediately red flags. It's like, okay, human interaction is where the problem is. It's not the Hooli algorithm. That doesn't care. It's just generating in microseconds what are the biggest stories that are being trended, and the way they base it is, whether it's on CNN and BBC News and Yahoo News and ABC,
and it's probably left slanted anyway, because that's how overall the media is anyway. And then you add subjectivity to it and you're fucked.
Yeah. And so they're saying these people are these and let's be honest, Mark Zuckerberg's about as progressive liberal left leaning as you can get. I mean, that's just the way it is. Remember, he's the one that had the Black Lives Matter mural that people could write on, and people were just fucking defacing the shit out of it. He had to set a memo out telling people not to fuck with the Black Lives Matter banner in his goddamn buildings. It was ridiculous. And Black Lives Matter, they felt was such a big story, even though it wasn't trending nationally, it had to be trending because it's such an important story.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the problem comes in, because they do reach billions of people. And when you start forcing stories like that onto the public when they're not organically trending, I mean, then just be a liberal news wing.
Either own it, which he has every right to do.
Sure.
If he wants. Like, hey, this is my thing. I set it up, and I've got billions of people on this. Isn't it awesome? Well, I'm going to feed them what I want them to.
Yeah.
Or be completely objective.
Yeah. Either do trending stories or don't do trending stories. Because I agree with you. If there was a section on Facebook that said, we think these are the 10 most important stories of the day, and then they just went Black Lives Matter, Ferguson, Missouri, and they just went right down the progressive checklist of what's hot today, of tranny rights, whatever, and you just go, oh, okay, I see what they're doing there, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the whole trending thing that's like, oh, these news stories are the hottest thing on the planet. That everyone has a problem with. But I don't know. We'll see if it matters at all. But he did meet with him.
With Glenn Beck.
Speaking of tranny rights,
and
that kind of stuff, New York, Bill de Blasio, one of our favorite mayors. This guy is on the forefront.
I love his son's fro.
Yeah, his son. Yeah, Dante.
Yeah,
is it Dante de Blasio? Who looks his nice afro. It's weird. He absolutely doesn't look mixed at all. He just looks like a black kid with a giant afro.
Yeah, you'd never guess de Blasio's his dad.
No. But a law in New York City will fine businesses and employers if they violate a person's human rights by not using their preferred gender pronouns.
Wow, we're really drilling down on this issue.
We sure are. We are getting to the bottom of this one now. Mayor de Blasio's Commission on Human Rights appears to have updated the law on discrimination on the basis of gender identity or expression to include businesses, employees, and landlords who fail to refer to transgender people as terms such as Z and her. Z-E and H-I-R. I think that's Latin for she and he or something like that. I don't look it up. Z-E and H-I-R. They will be in violation of New York City human rights law that forces employers and converted entities to use an individual's preferred name, pronoun, and title. Example, Ms. and Mrs., regardless of the individual's sex assigned at birth, anatomy, gender, medical history, appearance, or the sex indicated on their ID.
Okay. And we're talking about 1/3 of 1% of the people, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it shouldn't be a problem then. That's one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Like if truly this only applies to 1/3 of 1% of people, no problem. When it happens and you comply with this, probably never happened to you because it's such a small amount.
Yeah.
Problem is people be dicking around looking for ways to dick their employer and
Yep.
yeah, no, I'm transgender. Yeah, I'm transgender.
You can just see that sort of argument coming.
Gross.
Well, yeah. You can see it coming down the pike.
Wow.
Which is
A lot of
really
cleanup.
Yeah. It's messy. Several examples of or the commission issued a legal enforcement guidance for the law and notes that some people would prefer non-gender binary pronouns, including they, them, theirs, and Z and her.
Still picturing cum dripping down a pipe.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's not pretty.
Yeah. Okay.
You're wondering if
Sorry.
it's flooding like an open sieve, like a
I'm picturing just more of a drip. You know, it
Yeah.
starts with the slow drip and then
I'm
here it
gonna ma-
comes.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry to put that in your head.
How long's the pipe?
It's long. Yeah. I mean,
It's a constant flow.
Yeah, it's going into a lake. I mean, it's
just a whole lake full.
Yeah. Sorry. International several examples of violations that could result in fines. And these are not fines of like $100, right? These are like $125,000, $250,000.
Like this is hugely damaging to these individuals.
Intentional and repeated refusal to use an individual's preferred name, pronoun, or title. So if you're just like, my lady, some dude, if you keep doing that, they're like, yeah, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
$250,000.
$250,000.
For example, repeatedly calling a transgender woman him or Mr. after she has made it clear which pronouns and titles she prefers. Interestingly enough, the new guidance also suggests how businesses and employers can avoid violations. Okay, so this is key. Here's how you avoid violations. All right. And again, what percentage did you say this affects, Jay?
1/3 of 1%.
Huh. Okay, so what we're supposed to do so we don't inadvertently get caught up in a $100,000 fine. So what we do is implement a policy at our business of asking everyone what their preferred gender pronoun is so that no individual is singled out for such questions.
Can you imagine you're sitting there typing away, you get a knock at the door. It's your boss. Oh, hey, what's going on? Yeah, I just for the record, what's your preferred gender? What do you identify as? That's fucking insane.
It's insane. And the off chance that
I don't want to assume, because when I assume, you know what that does? It makes an ass out of you and me.
Right.
Yeah, dude, I'm a guy. Good. No.
Okay, good. Check. Today you are. Should I ask you again tomorrow? Because I mean, we know that this.
You have a dick check every day.
Right. And when they say everyone, do they mean customers? So some guy walks in and they're just like, oh, sorry. Are we
human?
Are we a ma'am or
Greetings,
are we a
human.
sir? Imagine that line of questioning to customers walking in the door. So
I do not want to offend you in any way. Therefore, I'm going to ask you, do you have balls?
I take it you're having a good day. Human. I like human. That's not bad. Unless someone doesn't identify as human, then what do we do?
That's the problem. See, that will be the next thing. I'll be like, hello, fellow human. How are you doing today?
Don't tell me what I am. I am not a human.
I'm a dog. It's common. I mean, like
Gross.
marrying the tree.
If a business finds out that its employees or patrons refuse to use a transgender employee's preferred pronoun, they should be kicked out or fired immediately.
Immediately.
Gone. You are dead to us. Get out of here. If found in violation, the commission can impose civil penalties up to $125,000 for violations.
No criminal penalties? Come on, we want criminal penalties.
That's right. Throw them in jail.
Yeah.
Now, how dare you? For violations that are the result of willful, wanton, or malicious conduct, that fine $250,000, dude. $250,000.
This is insane.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. And speaking of which, there's some chick went bonkers in a Target. Do you have this video, E? I haven't seen this yet.
I heard about this.
Getting it to play, but
protesting the transgender bathroom policy.
I know that there's like people love to make that argument that this is just like a religious thing. This is religiously wrong. Like, I don't feel terribly religious, and I feel just
Seems
as
kinda
strongly
wrong to you, doesn't it?
that this is outrageous. So I personally, I hate these fucking people. These Bible. I'm gonna wave the Bible in your face and walk down a Target and make a big scene. Like, fuck that lady, big fatso. But anyway, she's a mother of 12, which is almost more remarkable than anything that someone fucked that 12 times. Look at that thing.
We could spend 5 minutes on that issue.
Or the muumuu she's wearing. Anyway, she stormed a Target store protesting their transgender bathroom policy in a video that's, of course, gone viral.
Can you imagine birthing 12 kids?
No.
Oh, that thing must just be...
Ugh.
I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah. I don't know. Do those things fall apart?
They're pliable. No, they snap right back, but I can't imagine after 12 of them they do. It must just fall right out.
Beth was telling me we went to a restaurant last weekend, and she said she went to the bathroom and just one over
a garden hose.
Yeah, thumb over a garden. You're typical. And some lady held the door for her, was like, after you, my dear. And so, but she says this lady went in the stall next to her and sat down, and she said, I haven't even sat down yet, and this woman, like, I can hear her belt buckle, and then the seat, she sits down, and like a bomb dropped. It was just like, whack, gone. Poof, it hit the bowl of water like an explosion. She said it was like the whole vagine opened up and all the water just dropped out in one second. And then she flushed the toilet and walked out.
But the urethra has nothing to do with the vagine.
I know, but that's the way she said it. She was like, it was like a whole package, like a water bomb, just went boom.
That's weird.
Yeah. Never heard anything like that, but all I could think was maybe, I don't know, maybe she birthed that thing, blew it open, and
yeah.
I don't know how that works. I know it's horrifying, isn't it? E? So here's this woman. She's accompanied by some of her children. Is seen in the video waving around a Bible as she marches through the store, yelling about the wicked practice of allowing trannies to use the bathroom that corresponds with their gender identity. I'm a mother of 12, and I'm very disgusted by this wicked practice. Target does not protect mothers and their children. Mothers, get your children out of the store. All right, let's see what this weirdo's
sure this
about.
Is logical and measured.
Sure.
Attention, Target customers!
I already hate her.
Do not be deceived. Target would have you believe with their Mother's Day displays that they love mothers and children. This is a deception. This is not love, and they've proven it by opening their bathrooms to perverted men. I'm a mother of 12, and I'm very disgusted by this wicked practice.
I'm disgusted by
Target
you.
does not protect mothers and children. Mothers, get your children out of this store. Mothers, have enough decency to get out of this store. It's a dangerous place.
There's people walking by.
This
like,
is not loving.
I came here for
What
cat
Target
litter,
has
man.
done is very
I would be
hateful.
thrilled to be here this
It's
day.
hateful towards families. It's hateful towards mothers.
Be like,
It's
hell
hateful
yeah.
towards children.
I'd march with her.
America,
I
when
would
are you
too.
going to wake up? When are you going to stand up for the right things, America?
right.
Are you going
For
to let
children.
the devil rape your children, America?
Hell no, the devil ain't raping my
Time to
child.
stand up and have a voice.
That's right.
Instead of bowing to the homosexual perverted agenda that's taking over this nation. You need to run and flee this place.
Sitting in the food court trying to have a pretzel.
Spend a penny of my money here.
Like,
This
that's
is
very
wicked.
unloving of you.
This is confusion. This is twisted. This is abominable on the side of God. Repent.
Wow.
Coming on this nation and Target.
In Target.
Yeesh. Imagine being one of those kids that has to walk with her.
Oh, I know there's a couple like older kids walking with her, but then you see like the 10-year-old and the 8-year-old walking behind her, and they're just like following along with their fat troll of a mom.
Remember when mom yelled in Target? Like me and my brother would be like, yeah, remember that time Dad told us about the homo milk? These kids will be like, God, remember that shit? That was so wild.
Dude, she was not waving a Bible. I don't remember that.
Dude, she totally had, she was holding the Bible, Abomination, and Wicked and shit.
What are you talking? It's
online. The whole thing
online.
Back 20 years when they wouldn't let trannies in the bathroom. Remember?
Why wouldn't they let trannies in the bathroom? You're not supposed to say tranny, by the way. They've got a new name now. They call them pillows now. It's the accepting way to refer to them.
Seriously, those kids are scarred.
By then, 20 years from now, we'll have 7 different bathrooms all lined up for. If you're a goat, use this one. If you're a man, use this one. But
it's just too bad.
You're right, dude. That's so funny though that 20 years from now they'll be thinking back to that. Like, dude, I swear, I don't believe she was.
Pull up YouTube.
Like every year at Christmas when the family gets together, she'll be sitting in some chair somewhere with an oxygen tank and that stream of oxygen in her nose, just sitting there in a moo-moo. Move! Mama's watching The Price is Right. Move! Just be screaming shit at fucking kids, and I'll pull them up. Mom, remember the time you marched us all into Target to scream about trannies? Shut up, Junior. Shut up, Junior.
Oh, man.
I was right.
It is an abomination.
It was an abomination then. It's still an abomination.
Target's evil. The youngest one's going, what's Target? Doesn't even exist anymore. Oh, that's so funny. These people. God love them.
No, you're right. Your point about, there's an argument against this, and then you have that kind of as the poster child of who's arguing for you, and you're like, dude, stop, please.
Yeah, it's what makes this troubling. It's what makes it hard for a lot of people, including myself, because I don't want to be tied with that woman
It's
on
easy
anything.
for the other side to just be like, look at this hatred.
Yes.
This hatred and this
Yeah.
link to biblical belief. It's just so archaic and
Mhm.
it just seems very unreasonable when
And
you see a lady marching through there.
Yeah. And the truth is there is another argument to be made. Like, just seems like an interesting road, an interesting thing to tackle right now to just let people choose what they are and then decide for the rest of everybody. Has nothing to do with the Bible to me. It just seems insane to me. So, for what it's worth. Not much to many people, I know.
Spring is upon us, and our friends at Zott Ford and Holly want to celebrate the season with a smoking hot deal for all TDC listeners. Right now, and only at Zott Ford, you can lease a brand new 16 Ford Escape for only $188 per month for 24 months with zero cash due at signing. There's no better time than the present to dump your busted out, beat down hoopty and upgrade to a sweet new Ford Escape with our friends at Zott Ford. Surf their stunning deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com.
Did you see this guy? We haven't talked about this. I had this story for a couple of days, and it seems like we never get time or get around to doing it. But the guy that had had a dick surgery and got a dick put on.
Nice.
Yeah, we talked about this, didn't we?
The transplant?
I thought we did. I thought we talked about the first dick transplant like a month ago.
Did we?
Is this a follow-up to that? Like
maybe.
Come on. Use your retard brain and go back and
we've definitely talked about it, I feel like, but I thought it was even more than a month ago. So I don't know the situation that this is. This is something special or
I thought the guy it was
this is
Army
the first
veteran?
American one.
Maybe that's it.
They're doing these ones now to perfect the surgery before doing it on military guys.
Oh, okay.
There are plenty of military guys who have had their shit blown off. And they're like,
so they're
look,
waiting to do it on them. They're doing it on who?
They're doing it on this guy.
What, like a
first American
volunteer?
Thomas Manning. No, he had penis cancer, penusal cancer.
Penile cancer?
Yeah.
Cancer of the penus?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
How bad would that suck?
Sir, I'm sorry. Your test came back positive. You have cancer. Cancer of the what?
Yeah.
The penus. Oh,
I'm taking
nightmare.
Yeah.
Nightmare. I
any
take
of the other
pancreatic.
cancers. Right.
Yeah. He says his new penusal meat is starting to take shape after he's been a week in recovery now and wants to take his donor family for donuts. Why donuts?
Donuts.
So you can show how many donuts he can hang off his new penus? Is that the point of donuts? I was going to let him play a little ring toss with their former family member's penus. Thomas Manning, 64, spent 15 hours on the operating table at Massachusetts General in Boston last week as doctors attached a dead dude's dick to him. Would you rather have a dead dude's dick or no dick?
Dead dude's dick. I think I'd go for it. I'd try it. You
Yeah.
gotta try it.
It's worth a try.
He had his own
cancer.
He had his own panus amputated in 2012 after developing a rather aggressive form of penile cancer, leaving him with a 1-inch stump.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's insult to injury.
Once his new panus is healed, he'll be
Can
able
they
to-
at least say how much they cut off? At least give him that. Like we're leaving you with a 1-inch stump, but we will make sure everyone knows we took seven inches
We
off.
took 7.5. What do you want? Anywhere between 7 and 9.
It's like you
we'll
name
say.
it. Whatever. We'll say whatever you want.
Truth be told, we took 2 inches and chucked them in the garbage. But if you want us to go anywhere, we'll give you anywhere from 6 to 9 removal. It's your choice. And he checks the 9 box, and they're like, all right, yeah, well, we threw 9 good inches away. Unfortunately for him.
Most guys check the 9 box. It's
right. It's pretty standard.
Yeah.
I don't even know why we have this.
Because you don't want to look like a freak.
I
you don't want to look like you're lying, right?
I wouldn't want to look like I was lying. So I might go 8.5, because I think if we all knew that there was this limit, you'd be like, well, of course he hit 9. There's no way it was 9.
Well, what if they say 9+?
Okay, then maybe
then you hit the 9+.
If there was a 9+ box.
Yeah, maybe that you do.
It's in all their press releases. 9.5, 9+ inches were removed and discarded.
Because that kind of
Leaving
makes
him
it
a 1-inch
right,
stump.
Right. Yeah, that's
See, at least you can live with that, right?
Yeah. You can go, I had 63 good years with, at least 10 plus. And then, so anyway, once his new panus is healed, he'll be able to urinate while standing. And they say bang chicks or dudes, whatever he prefers. It's starting to take shape. Let's put it that way. It's becoming more normal every day. Coloring's coming back. There's a lot of swelling involved. A lot's going to change. Mr. Manning's new panus was donated by a young dude who lived in New England. He's spoken to the man's family and hopes to meet up with them for donuts. Maybe somewhere down the road we can get together, go to Dunkin' Donuts or someplace, say hello, how you doing? There's no doubt in my mind that everything's going to work, and I mean everything. You can interpret that any way you wish. He's in the recovery room less than a week, and he's already talking about fucking something.
Yeah.
Well, dude, now he's got this. How young did you say that person was? Or just younger?
He was just younger, yeah.
Well, now he's got this hot young dick, and he's just ready to try to test drive it, man.
A hot young dick.
Hell yeah.
Well, no.
Instead of that old droopy
Right.
cancerous thing he had.
Right.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
couldn't have looked good in the end.
Dude, what was he said, 63?
64.
You have this vital cock.
Right. The low
Yeah.
saggy balls and all that shit, and now he's fucking 63 with
Yeah,
his...
do you tighten up the ball sack at that point to match?
Can
I
you
just
do
assumed he was
that?
doing the
Yeah.
whole thing, I guess. I just assumed... I know.
Why would you assume that?
Because I think if you're going
They
in
don't
for-
just take the bag too.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking if you're going for this...
I think you tighten up the ball sack to match. That would look weird.
Well, do you do yeah, maybe.
You don't want this to look weird.
Yeah. Would you want to know what you were getting in return before it was done?
Look at a series of...
I mean, when you go to a high-end steak shop
Yeah.
and they wheel out the steaks and you're like, ooh, that strip looks great tonight. I'll have that.
Yeah.
Would you want that, or would you be like, fuck it, I'm gonna wake up and open my eyes and see what they've done to me?
No, you absolutely would want choice if you could have it. I reckon you probably don't get much choice though. Probably take the first one that's available and that looks like they can surgically deal with it.
What a crapshoot, because then in the recovery room, I mean, you're dealing with some serious swelling. So I mean, the first time you look, you're like, hell yeah, that son of a bitch did me a solid here.
Do
And
they
then
try to match races? Let me ask you that.
They do.
Okay.
They had to find
Again,
a color
it would
match.
look weird. We don't want it to look weird.
But dude, what was you? Okay, though that begs another question. I mean, if they go, look, we can give you 3 white inches, or we can give you 7 black ones.
7.
I mean, right? You're going. I think you go 7 black, and he's uncircled.
How weird would it be to change out your dick? I mean, you know your dick like the back of your hand, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be really odd. It'd be like getting a new hand transplant. That would be so freaking.
Do you know
weird.
how bummed you would be, Jay? Not at just losing yours, you're down to an inch. But then if like when all came back and something happened to me and you got mine,
that would be
dude,
awful.
you'd be. I'm telling you,
a little
you'd
short,
be
stubby, fat. dick.
devastated.
You haven't showed.
It's not a chode, but I think knowing what the
Is it
king's dealing
wider
with-
than it is long?
No.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, it's not good, man. It's not good. He says
He's ready to go.
I would have He's like, I would have went to the moon for this. I mean, why not? They cut my penis off and I wanted it back. It's not that complicated. He's the first American to have
It's not that complicated. That sounds tremendously complicated. I got to believe there's also, I mean, we know there's veins throughout this thing.
Oh, absolutely.
The seminal vesicle.
Dr. Dick and Co. is the guy that did it. Yeah. Well, you know, the subdorsal V.
Yes.
Like I think that's where it gets tricky when you're trying to match that with the deep dorsal and the subdorsal.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
When you're trying to line those dorsals up. So that's where it's like you need circumference to match. Obviously the dorsal A&M and the cavernosal A.
Yep.
As opposed to the corpus cavernosum and the corpus spongosum.
Corpus.
Like, I don't know which your favorite part is. I always pegged you as a subdorsal
Oh my
myself.
God, the cross section of a dick.
Yeah. Who knew that
Oof.
was all going on in there?
I know.
I think them damn dorsals are what fills up and really gives you that power.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I think
the
those are
main
what
substance.
those are what fills up and inflates and kind of gives you that fucking yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's go time.
So do you show when you meet this family at Dunkin' Donuts? Do you show them?
Here's what it looks like. I appreciate it.
It's going well. I mean,
Yeah.
you recognize this, right? Like, what are you looking for?
I don't know. I don't know what the conversation like.
Well,
here's
I've been boning chicks left and right, just to let you know.
been whizzing standing up. It's been great.
I know it sucks that your son is deceased, but let you know his penis has been getting used. It's not.
I lubricate it daily. I let it fly. I take it for a good stroll
I'm
once
not
a day.
saying
at
no
least.
that often. I'm just anything that will accept it. So
The fact is, what you have in common with this family is their dead family member's dick. That's it. That's all you have in common. And there's really not much discussion.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, I think I would avoid that meeting as long as possible.
Because if you met with a hand donor, an eye donor, or whatever, their family,
Yeah.
you know, look, it's
I couldn't see before.
you know, I'm so blessed, and
Yeah, you do that weird handshake with them where your stiff, weird hand doesn't quite work right.
it's like Chubbs from Happy Gilmore coming in for a handshake.
Coming in strong with a wooden hand. Yeah, it's that whole thing. But you owe them a handshake, don't you?
do.
I think you owe them a
I
handshake.
think that's the moment everybody's been looking
Yeah.
for.
I mean, let's be honest. You're not tossing the rock.
So,
but,
well,
but
what do you
come in
what do you
strong for
do
a
in this
handshake.
instance? Do you offer a doc?
What is that? What's that again?
Docking is the insertion of one man's glands into the foreskin of another's.
I think, and now this is the first one to do it, so there's not much precedent set yet.
Yeah.
But I think that's the least you could do. Is at least I just look. If you're not comfortable with this, I totally understand. But I want to just let you know that if you're interested in a docking,
Sort of
we
have
could do
your
that.
son's penis give yours a hug.
Yeah, just I mean,
One
it's,
last hug.
It's the last remaining member of your son. If you want to give him a
Last
hug,
remaining member of your member.
yeah,
member of your son, and you can say goodbye to it. Just
yeah. And then Nana's going to be in the background and go, "What is docking?"
then you have to explain it. This is not.
Docking is the insertion of one man's glands into the foreskin of another's.
And then you hear Grandma go ass over apple cart backwards as she faints into the table and smashes her head at the Dunkin' Donuts when she hears what docking is. The last guy that you guys might be thinking of that underwent the world's first successful penis transplant, revealed that his girlfriend is pregnant now. A South African guy. He's
That's
21.
what we were thinking of, dude. I remember.
Okay.
Lost all but 1 centimeter of his panus.
Whoa!
4 years ago. Following, guess how he lost his
Wasn't it
panus?
if this is the guy we were thinking about, it was dragged by that car. Remember?
No. That's a different dude.
Okay.
He got a
Oh,
fucking.
he got the pump, the Reebok pump.
Yes, exactly. And remember, they gave him like 9 inches. I mean, why
Yes,
not?
Of course.
Yeah, there's no limit on that. So
Yeah, he was
like, "Hell
dragged by a car as a kid and just.
yeah." No, he was dragged by a tractor.
Mm.
I think he was dragged by, or wasn't he?
Down a gravel road. Or
Oh,
some
something
shit.
like that. Yeah, he was dragged for like a mile or something, or 600 yards on his
Picture that
panus.
scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark where Indiana Jones has the whip tied under the transmission of that truck.
Yeah, there you go.
Just dragging back and forth.
This guy had a later in life botched circumcision. Yep. Cost him all but a centimeter. He gets good. The doctor has come out and spoken about that patient in South Africa and says
that's a cautionary tale about vanity, really. I mean, why do you go in later in life? You want a different look at that point?
I guess. He gets good quality erections, ejaculates, and frequently has sex with his partner now. The doctors come out on record to say that. It just wants to get that out there for everybody.
Good to know.
He received the donated organ after it was taken, stolen from a guy that was declared brain dead. So they're like, close enough. He doesn't need this anymore. And they just lopped it off and taped it onto this guy.
You won't be using this.
I think I'd want the surprise. We've come this far. Like they'd go, do you want to see it beforehand? I think I'm going, you know what? I don't want to know. I'm going to put my trust and faith in you guys that you're going to do solid by me.
That's what I was going to say. Don't you at least say to the doctor, like, okay, look at surprise. That's fine. But we're guys here. So,
don't fuck me on this one, Doc. Dr. Dick and Co. Don't fuck me on this one, sir.
Don't let me wake up and get 2 fucking inches. You son of a bitch.
And then who knows? Maybe you wake up and you're like, hell yeah. Fuck, the guy that went out was, whew, thank God he died.
No, I'd absolutely want to know in advance.
Of course you would.
Can't leave
there's
that
only
to chance.
There's only one way for you to go. Let's be honest.
You can't leave that to chance, man.
Let's be honest. This can only get worse for you, Jay. So I don't blame you.
Again, another big dick joke. Lay off, man.
Sorry. All right. What do we got for email?
We do have some email, Mike. Yeah, let's see. Ron writes in. To ye most awesome podcasters, I have a topic that I believe is worthy of discussion at work. I visit the restroom possibly daily.
Ugh.
I hope you visit the restroom daily at work.
But at work? I guess, yeah.
Which has 4 urinals and 4 stalls. And in said visit, I am aware of other males, as far as I know, that are going into stalls just to piss. Okay, so he's saying he's taking a shit, right? Daily. Okay. He's aware of other males going to stalls just to piss. It's quite obvious.
Going into the closed door stalls?
Closed door stalls. It's quite obvious by the sound that they are standing. There are plenty of free urinals during this time. So I figure they are using the stall because they don't want to take the chance that anyone could possibly see their abnormally tiny wieners. What do you think? What else would someone stand in a stall when they could use a urinal with clean floors in front of them so that's not a problem? Why else would they do that?
Well,
I don't know.
If you come in there, come in the bathroom, gross. I know. Ugh. Sorry. And there's already people occupying.
Let's assume there's not. That's the assumption here. There's open urinals.
Well,
he just says they're open. He doesn't say that all 4 are open.
Number one, have you guys witnessed this? Because I have.
I have too.
Yeah,
definitely.
What are people thinking?
The only thing I can think is maybe they don't want their panus so close to the porcelain for the splashback on their hands.
Splashback is a concern.
And yeah, so I mean, I guess the further away you can get from the bowl and the water, perhaps.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm out. I don't know.
Care, I guess.
It struck me as odd too in the past. I'm sort of with Ron. I don't get it. I don't know that it's like I've got a little dick thing, but more just like, oh, it's kind of weird to pull out my wiener in front of people thing. But dude, saunter up to the urinal, man.
Yeah.
Preferably floor to midsection.
Yeah, those are the best for sure.
Yeah, because there are certain designs that will give you the blowback, which is just outrageous.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Did you like the troughs like at the old Tiger Stadium?
Come on, man.
But
of course you like the troughs.
At the Joe and
everybody loves the troughs.
Yeah. I think people are horrified by the troughs.
I wanted to get a trough for my basement, man.
Where you and the boys could line up.
Oh, it'd be great.
Would you go middle? You left or right guy or middle guy?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
no preference.
If you're
at the Joe or something, you just go where there's an open spot.
I know, but it is.
If I'm lining up with my boys, I don't know. I've never thought of that.
You hands on hips guy?
No, I'm not hands on hips guy. That's fucking weird.
I know.
Are you cell phone on the back of the urinal?
Absolutely not.
Hell no.
No.
But you've seen it, right?
I've seen it. I've seen people having conversations on their cell phone while it's sitting on the porcelain.
I've heard of people posting wave talks while peeing.
Yeah.
Nick writes in, listening to Big E on the Hot Butter podcast, and he finally admits that him and his friends were trying to rip off Jackass. At the 24-minute mark, he exclaims, me and my friends post high school went through a stage where we thought we were going to be Jackass. End quote. What say you, retard?
No other
what
way
say you?
That's like saying that doing this show, you're just copying any morning show. You're copying Stern, or It's just, dude, it's just the best way to describe it when I'm talking on a show. I'm not going to sit here and explain, well, I've never seen Jackass, and my friend was a sponsored water tuber, and I like the idea of doing pranks, and it's just the best way to describe it.
I don't buy it.
Who cares?
I don't buy it.
Who gives a shit? It didn't go anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So are you now going to just admit it then?
No,
if it doesn't matter?
I never admitted to, oh my God. All I said is I've never, ever saw an episode of Jackass before I started filming, which is true.
Ed writes in, willing to offer my house for the all-night grinding session. We can have a Detroit Cast Big E grinding party. I will set up the spare bedroom in whatever manner Joel wants. We can even throw a kegerator of whatever shit beer Eric wants in there. I will offer my services to moderate the event. I can enforce whatever agreement the two parties come to. If they agree to a per hour fee or just an all or nothing, I will be fair but firm. And Eric can stay in the spare bedroom as long as it takes to allow Mrs. Fady to forgive him.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Fady.
Hi. Morning. It's early.
I'm not responding to that. I don't know what to say.
This is going down,
That's
dude.
good, dude. Now you're on neutral
territory.
This is good news for you.
That's what you declared you needed.
Yep.
You
don't want to go to Joel's home field and play by his rules there. At least you got a moderator here.
So we have a site. We presumably Joel will show up with 500 crisp $2 bills.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very good chance this is not going to happen. So,
why?
As I described yesterday, the possibility of
knee taker
of it being perceived as prostitution amongst people in my house.
You got to get out of that house, man.
Yeah. We don't want to shame anybody.
No.
No. We don't want to shame anybody. We don't want to put anybody on the spot. If it looks funny, we go over and say, mm-mm.
I don't know how to say it, but I am not, I don't know. There's a lot more that I'd be willing to do in my life based on different circumstances. I am not nearly as worried about any of that shit as other people are.
You going to be able to come out once you get out of your house?
I'm not gay, so I don't know what you mean by coming out, but
BJ writes in, I just came back from vacation and I'm catching up on the podcast. In 577, you guys were railing on destination t-shirts, and so I need a ruling on this particular one. I considered buying one of these for E since he loves the cock so much, but they didn't have any purple or pink. What do you think about this? The Icelandic Philological Museum.
That's
a
little different. That's a little different to me. Especially if he was buying it for me based on the fact that he thought it was funny that it was like a cock. If for one, I'm assuming that's what he's laughing at, right? That picture that obviously looks like a penis.
God, you see a dick in everything you look at? What are you talking about?
Well,
that's a rope. That's
he
a
called
tulip.
it a cock
That's a
t-shirt.
tulip.
He just told me in the email. He said a cock t-shirt.
God,
I see a tulip too.
Yeah.
But
fine.
Wow,
Whatever.
Rorschach test guy, weirdo. He sees a cock in everything.
If he was buying, I think if you're buying it like back when the cocks also like what is it, South Carolina Gamecocks?
Hell yeah.
I think if you're buying something like that as a joke, it's one thing. I think it's again, my thing is the people that buy these Myrtle Beach sweatshirt and now they're wearing it around.
I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. I don't like I just don't like things that are too busy. Like any of the Disney things, I'm out.
I hate all.
I can't stand like a giant Mickey and ears and blah. Like that, but if it's subtle, if it's just like something simple like that, I don't mind.
They're so stupid.
BJ continues. Also, I stayed a
Yeah, but
block
you wear,
away.
I know.
Fucking look at what you wear.
I know, dude. I have dumb. I have a lot of dumb things that I'm okay with and
Right.
not okay with it.
Also, I stayed a block away from a pool with the "Don't blow dry your balls" sign.
Nice.
But I was unable to get a picture of the sign because beside a TDC T-shirt, that would have been sweet.
That would have been
"Don't
sweet.
blow your balls" with TDC next to it. My apologies. They frown on taking pictures in the pool locker rooms. Apparently.
Why? What's the problem?
Get it? Come on, BJ. You weren't trying hard enough.
Yeah, I think you could have pulled that off.
We'll save the rest for Monday, Miguel.
Sounds good.
But before we go, we do need to ask the listeners to rate us on iTunes. Check us out on YouTube, our YouTube channel. It's not just our show you will find there, but you'll find some other things like great Mike Massey videos.
That's right.
Stupid E-tard videos, little shorts that he's doing.
I'm trying to come up with some more. I'm trying to make that wrestling thing. That's in the works. It didn't just go away, by the way. I know some people think it went away. It's just a problem that the person I'm dealing with has to find a gym, and It's just a situation, but I am working on it still. It's not gone away completely.
So if anyone was worried about that, you now have a vague explanation
I'm
as to why that hasn't been posted.
Right.
Okay. Is that it?
That's
for
it.
Or is anything going on the weekend? Are you doing any stand up or anything?
No, sir, not this week. Next weekend I will be, I guess. Grand Rapids. I know it's a ways away, but next Sunday in Grand Rapids.
All right.
I think I have some listeners that are going to be there. There were some listeners that was at the thing in Gaines that when I told them that, they're like, we're going to be in Grand Rapids. That would be, even though I kind of know ahead of time I think are going to be there, it would be so crazy to have some of those West Side people, like to them, they'd be like, holy fuck. It'd probably make them think it was pretty cool. So
what if people knew you there?
Well, yeah. Well, if someone that was in Grand Rapids to watch me that was like that referenced the fact that they listened to a podcast, that would definitely show some cool kind of make some of those West Side people realize what I'm doing is kind of cool.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, we'll mention it again next week.
Yes,
so
sir.
With that, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to the guy.